Great. If there's questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a seat. Yay. You can turn your video, leave your video feed on or turn your video feed off, completely up to you. And then whatever that seat looks like for you is great. You can sit on your mat. You can sit on a chair. You can sit yourself up against something if that's more comfortable. If you practice with yoga blocks, please feel free to sit on a yoga block. It's shockingly comfortable to sit up on a block. So if you have one, go for it. And then as we always do, let's make those wiggly, squiggly movements to get ourselves settled and into our seat, reminding ourselves that it's yoga time. Neck rolls, shoulder rolls, hip wiggles, knee wiggles, whatever you need. I'll make my way back to my mat and get settled with you here. We'll just take a few more moments here, making those physical movements that help us to settle in. And then as we gently begin to shift our focus over to our breathing, let's set up our nice dignified posture first. Root down through your sit bones, whether you're sitting up against the wall, even if you're sitting on your shins, root those sit bones down as best as you can. Then we'll create that nice tall dignified spine all the way up through the crown of the head. And again, if you still want to make some shoulder rolls forward and backward, please feel free to make those movements there. As we maintain this nice dignified spine, it allows us to create as much air movement through those lungs as we can. So you can keep your hands on your thighs. Sometimes I start out with my hand on my diaphragm here. As you inhale, think about the expansion. Get buoyant through the rib cage and the lungs, front, back, and sides. And as you exhale, release and let it go. As you inhale, expand, get wide, front and back, side to side. As you exhale, let that all contract back down and let it go. We'll do 3 more big breaths just like that. In through the nose. And out through the nose. Twice more. One more full breath. Now we'll bring ourselves back to some rhythmic, normal breathing here, whatever your body decides is a normal in and a normal out. Relax those shoulder blades down here. Let's inhale those arms up and overhead. Press your palms together. Keep looking forward for this one. And exhale, let's draw thumbs to heart center. Pause here for a moment. If there's an intention you'd like to set for today's practice, allow that intention to fill up your mind's eye. And then we'll inhale here, pressing those palms together overhead. As we exhale, send that intention out to the universe. Beautiful. One more round of breath. Here we are. Inhale, arms up and overhead. And exhale, thumbs to heart center. Let's place those hands on those knees or thighs, whatever feels better for you. And we'll work through some gentle seated cat-cow here to really warm up the belly and the spine. As we inhale, roll the shoulders back, bring your chest forward. We'll look forward on the first one. As we exhale, roll the shoulders forward, tucking your belly. You can look down. Inhale, rolling the shoulders back, maybe start to look up a little bit here. Exhale, rounding the shoulders forward, tucking your belly, looking down. And last time, inhale, roll those shoulders back. You may want to look up a little higher. That's up to you. And exhale, round those shoulders forward, tuck in your belly. Come on back to our neutral spine right here. We'll take a side bend to each side and then we'll move into tabletop. So let's place our right hand on our right hip. Inhale that left arm up and over. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Taking it as far as you'd like to here. It doesn't have to be super big. We want to keep those sit bones down. Find one more breath. And then the inhale draws us back to center, both hands on hips here. And exhale to settle right here. And then we'll inhale that right arm up and overhead. Exhale, taking our side bend to the left. Take it as far as you'd like to here. Chest stays open. Sit bones root down. One more inhale. And our exhale. And then we'll inhale to come on back to center, hands on hips. Exhale to settle, making our way over to our tabletop position here. As we get ourselves set up with our alignment, make sure your shoulder stacks over your wrists and make sure you spread those fingers really wide here. Finding those knees about hip distance apart, and then you can tuck or untuck your toes, whatever feels better for you. Let's inhale to drop the belly, lift up your gaze, lift your tailbone, and exhale, pushing the mat away. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone, and exhale, pushing the mat away. And one more time, inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, lift your tailbone, and exhale as we push the mat away. Come on back to our neutral spine here. We're going to warm up the wrists a little bit today. So we start out with our fingers pointing forward. We're going to shift those fingers to point out to the left and right. So your left fingers point to the left, right fingers point to the right, and then we're going to take a rock of those shoulders side to side here. Keeping shoulders stacked over the wrist, but moving gently one way and the other way. So we're not behind, we're stacked, right? Let's take one more big round of breath here. Finding a full exhale. And then come on back to center. We'll shift those hands so your fingers point towards your knees here. Keep your fingers spread really wide. I tend to get super extended with my elbows, so you might want a little tiny bend in those elbows. It's a little bit safer there. And then we're gently going to take those shoulders in front of those wrists here, reaching forward. And then gently reaching back here. This is a big stretch for your forearms, so only take it as far as you'd like to. And let's continue to find that breath, shifting shoulders forward and shifting shoulders back. Finding one more big round of breath here. And then we'll come back to our normal neutral tabletop here. Take those fingers where they belong here. And then you have two options for the last one. You can take your hands over to the back side of your hand, one at a time, and get a little bit more of a stretch through those wrists. Or if that's not super comfortable, you can come back to neutral tabletop and take your body in some circles around. Either way, we'll take two big breaths here. One more full inhale. And a full exhale. And then come back to our neutral tabletop here. Spread those fingers wide, my friends. Shoulders are stacked over those wrists. Index fingers are parallel to each other. Set your knees a few inches behind your hips. Tuck those toes under. Take a big inhale. Exhale to send our hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Place as much of a bend in those knees as you need to. Send those sit bones up as high as you can. Press through those hands, chest toward thighs. If you'd like to work for straight knees here, send your hamstrings behind you. Two more breaths. One more breath. Let's inhale here. And exhale. Let's do a little bit of a hip opener here while we're in down dog. Inhale your right leg up towards the ceiling. Bend your right knee and make those big hip circles here. Trying to keep those shoulders square and centered. And then take that circle the opposite direction. And then we'll extend that right leg behind us on an inhale. Exhale back down to downward facing dog. And then your next inhale, left leg reaches towards the ceiling, bending that knee and making those big hip circles on the left side. Switching direction here. And then on your next inhale, extend that left leg straight behind you, square off your hips. Exhale back to downward facing dog. One big breath in here. And a full breath out. Then we'll send those hips a little higher. Take our baby steps here up to the top of the mat, finding a forward fold with as much of a bend in those knees as you need. And then when you're ready, draw hands to shins, inhaling to a halfway lift. Here's our flat back. Exhale to fold down. Let's do that twice more. Hands drop to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling to fold down. One more time, hands to shins. Inhale, lifting halfway. And exhale, folding all the way down. Press firmly through both feet. We'll draw that torso all the way up. Extend those arms up and overhead. Engage your belly and your glutes. Inhale. And exhale. Thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. Good. So mountain pose, Tadasana pose is where all of our sun salutations start. So Surya Namaskar A, sun salutation A, is what we're going to do first. Here we go. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale to fold forward. Let's come all the way down. Bring hands to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Here's your flat back. As you exhale, we're going to plant our hands here, my friends. We're going to step back to a high plank. Little different than what I typically do. Find your high plank. Shoulders over wrists here. That's why we warmed up the wrists. Zip up your belly. And then we're all going to drop our knees down for this first one. Shift those shoulders forward a little bit. Come on down to your chest. Roll shoulders back. Baby cobra. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you can come through tabletop if you'd like to, or send yourself right to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Maintain your alignment strong and steady. 1 more breath. And then we'll send those hips up a little higher. You can take those baby steps again up to the top of the mat here. Finding our forward fold again with as much of a bend in those knees as you'd like. Draw hands to shins. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Press through those feet. We'll come all the way up to standing. Inhaling those arms up and overhead. And exhaling, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose. Tadasana. Good. 2 more sun salutation A's. Here we go. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale to fold forward. Uttanasana. Hands drop to shins. Ardha Uttanasana. Halfway lift. Here's your breath in. And then as we exhale, plant those hands. We're making our way back to a high plank, everybody. If you have to adjust your feet because you're not used to that step back, don't worry. It's okay. Shoulders over wrists. We have a big inhale here. As we exhale, drop those knees down. Shoulders come forward of wrists. Come down to the chest. Untuck toes. Baby cobra or full cobra Bhujangasana. If you'd like a full one. Inhale. And then as you exhale, you can go through tabletop or go right to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Full breath out. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then we'll send our hips a little higher. You can take those baby steps or a gigantic step to the top of the mat. Forward fold once you get here. Hands to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Here's your flat back position. Exhale, fold down. Coming all the way up to standing. Reach those arms up and overhead. Press those palms together. Here's your inhale. And exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. 1 more, my friends. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, folding forward, coming all the way down, Uttanasana. Hands drop to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Here's your flat back. And exhale, plant those hands. Let's find high plank, stepping it all the way back. We're going to drop our knees down 1 more time for this one, and then our next round, you'll have an option to keep those knees elevated. So drop those knees down. Send your shoulders forward of your wrist. Come down to your chest. As we inhale, baby cobra is great. Full cobra is also great. And then as we exhale, you can work through tabletop or go right to downward facing dog. Finding a big breath in. Full breath out. Let's take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Send those hips a little higher. You can take those baby steps or a big step up to the top of the mat. Forward fold once you get here. Draw hands to shins. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Drawing that torso all the way up when you're ready. Let's reach those arms up and overhead. Press those palms together. And then as you exhale, draw thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose. Tadasana. Beautiful. That was Sun Salutation A. Surya Namaskar A. We did 3 rounds of that. Now we're going to do 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B. Bring those feet all the way together here. We start this with chair pose, Utkatasana. So you take your hands to your hips. If you'd like to, make sure you can see your toes. Hips are nice and square. You're always welcome to keep those hands on those hips or sweep those arms up. Plug those shoulder blades in. Taking 2 more big breaths here. 1 more breath. And then we're going to press through those feet to stand all the way up on our inhale. Press palms together. As we exhale, fold forward, coming all the way down. Hands come to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Here's our flat back position. As we exhale, plant those hands firmly. We find a high plank here. You're welcome to drop your knees. If you want to stay in a straight line from your heels up through the back of your head, you'll keep that body elevated here. Everybody shifts forward then, and either the chest or the whole body comes down at one time. Untuck those toes, baby cobra or full cobra. Here we are. Let's inhale. As we exhale, making our way to downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full breath out. We're going to inhale that right leg up towards the ceiling here. As we exhale, step that right foot forward. We're going to actually drop our back knee down for the first one, finding low leg lunge. So this is not traditional necessarily, but I want to open up our hips a little bit before we do a full round of it. Back toes are tucked under. If you need a little cushion under that back knee, that's okay. Right knee's on top of that right ankle. Tuck in your belly. Reach those fingers up. 3 breaths here. One more. Inhale. As we exhale, frame that front foot. We lift the back knee and then we step back to high plank, everybody. Here we are. Yeah, there's a lot of these, right? Take a breath in. As you exhale, knees up or down. Let's shift all the way down onto the mat. Shoulders back. Baby or full cobra. Take an inhale. Exhale, rolling over those toes. Send your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full breath out. We'll inhale that left leg up towards the ceiling here, square hips. Exhale to step that left foot forward, drop that back knee down, taking low leg on lunge on the left side. Left knee's on top of that left ankle. Back toes tucked under, tuck in your belly, relax your shoulders. 3 breaths. One more breath, my friends. Here we are. Inhale. As we exhale, frame that front foot, lift that back knee. We make our way back to high plank. Here's our inhale. Knees up or down. Exhale, down to the belly. Roll shoulders onto the back. Baby or full cobra, inhale. Exhale to roll over those toes. Send your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Reset. One more breath. And then we'll send those hips a little higher. You can walk, step, or hop up to the top of the mat. Big toes touch once you get up here. Forward fold. Hands draw to shins. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Dropping right into chair pose from here. Hands on hips or sweep arms up and overhead. 1 breath, my friends. Inhale. And exhale. And then straight arms, straight legs, reach up. You can gaze up, inhale. And exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. That was Sun Salutation B. We're gonna do 2 more, all right? I'm gonna give you all the modifications. You can keep your knees on the ground or keep them elevated. When we lower down for chaturanga, you can do a low leg lunge again. I'll give you options for high lunge and warrior one. So there's something for everybody. And everybody gets to do chair pose. Here we go. Dropping it down, Utkatasana chair pose. If you're up a little bit, that's okay. Sink those hips down if you can. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then straight arms, straight legs, reach up. You can gaze up, inhale. Exhale to fold forward, coming all the way down, Uttanasana. Hands come to shins. Ardha Uttanasana, inhale. As we exhale, plant those hands. Let's take it back to high plank. Big breath in, knees up or down. As you exhale, you can take it to the belly or low push-up, chaturanga. Chest comes through shoulders, baby, full or upward facing dog. Inhale. And then as we exhale, roll over those toes and drift to the sky. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full breath out. We're going to inhale that right leg up towards the ceiling here. Nice square hips. Exhale to step it forward. So if you'd like to drop that back knee down, you can. Or you can keep it elevated. Crescent lunge. If you would like to practice warrior one here today, step that back foot flat so that those back toes point towards the top corner of the mat here. Right knee is stacked on top of that right ankle, regardless of what your back leg is doing. Hips are square as much as we can. If you're in crescent lunge, press through the ball of the back foot. If you're in warrior one, press through the outer side of that back leg. Here we are. 2 more breaths. I talk too much. 1 more breath. Inhale. As we exhale, frame that front foot, stepping back to high plank. And then we find an inhale. Knees up or down as we exhale to the belly or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, send your hips to the sky, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. And then we'll inhale that left leg up towards the ceiling, square hips here. Exhale to step it forward. That back knee is welcome to come down, or you can keep it elevated. Crescent lunge looks like this. Left knee's on top of that left ankle, push through the ball of the back foot. If you want to play with warrior one, you'll flatten that back foot. You might just step it forward a little bit, that's okay. Those back toes point towards the top right corner of the mat. 3 breaths. One more breath, let's inhale. As we exhale, frame that front foot, step back, high plank. Take a breath in. Exhale to the belly or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha. And then hips to sky on an exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Take 3 breaths here, everybody. Reset. And then when you're ready, sending those hips a little higher, walk, step, or hop up to the top of your mat. Big toes touch once you get here. Hands draw to shins, inhale, halfway lift. Here's your flat back. Exhale, fold down. Coming right into chair pose. Here we go. Drop those hips back and down. Take 1 breath, inhale. And exhale. And then straight arms, straight legs, reach up. You can gaze up, inhale. Exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. Beautiful. 1 more sun salutation B, and then we'll take a little breaky break. Here we go. Chair pose, dropping it back and down. Big toes touch, inner thighs touch. 1 more big breath here. Let's inhale. And exhale. And then reach up. You can gaze up, straight arms, straight legs. As we exhale, we fold forward. Let's come all the way down. Hands draw to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Here's your flat back position. As we exhale, root those hands down firmly. Let's step back to high plank. Zip up your belly. Knees up or down, breath in. Exhale all the way to the belly or chaturanga. Cobra pose or upward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale, send your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Taking a full breath in. Big breath out. When you're ready, we'll inhale the right leg up towards the ceiling here. Nice square hips. Exhale to step that right foot forward. Draw that torso all the way up. You're welcome to keep that back knee on the ground if you'd like to. Low leg lunge. You can come into crescent lunge like I have here, or you can pop that back foot down to find warrior one. 3 breaths here. We're going to hang out to get our alignment, see how everything feels. If you're feeling super back bendy today, you can lean back into it a little bit if you want to, but don't feel like you have to. One more inhale. As we exhale, gently frame that front foot, stepping it back to high plank, and then we'll inhale. Exhale, chaturanga or to the belly. Cobra pose or upward facing. Your upward facing has your knees lifted off the ground. That's the only difference. Inhale. And then as we exhale, sending our hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full breath out. Inhale that left leg up towards the ceiling, square hips here. Exhale to step it forward. You're welcome to drop your back knee down. If you want to keep it lifted, coming into crescent lunge, great. If you want to try warrior one, pop that back foot down. Shoulder blades are down. Work as much as we can to square off the hips. Zip up the belly. If you're feeling back bendy and you want to try it, you can give it a little extra here, but you don't have to. 2 more breaths. One more breath. As we exhale, frame that front foot. Take ourselves back to high plank. If you have to adjust your feet, it's okay. Inhale. As we exhale, knees up or down, chaturanga dandasana. Cobra or upward facing dog on an inhale. And exhale, hips to sky. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full breath out. Send those hips a little higher. Walk, step, or hop up to the top of the mat here. Big toes touch once you get here. Forward fold. Drawing hands to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Chair pose. Last time, my friends. Utkatasana. Here we are. 1 big breath. Inhale. And exhale. And then we'll stand all the way up. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. Yay. So on Saturday, you just have 102 more of those to do. No big deal. Great. Separate those feet to hip distance apart, everybody. Point those toes forward, hands on hips. Roll shoulders back, chest forward, inhale. Exhaling into a forward fold. Once that torso makes its way down, you can grab opposite elbows here or grab onto those big toes. If you would like to put a deep bend in those knees, feel free. You can let your belly just fall onto those thighs. Let your head hang heavy. Sending your breath into your entire back body. One more breath, my friends. Here we are. Inhale. And exhale. And then release those toes or elbows, whatever you have. Halfway lift. Here's our inhale, flat back. As we exhale, plant those hands. We're going to take ourselves back to downward facing dog, everybody. Send your hips to the sky. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Then we're going to inhale those knees down to the mat tabletop. As we exhale, untuck your toes, send your hips to your heels. Child's pose. Taking 5 breaths. Reset. The bottom of that last exhale, make your way back up to your tabletop position. Stack those shoulders over those wrists. You might have to adjust your knees back to hip distance. then tuck those toes under, take a full inhale. As we exhale, send our hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Big breath in, full breath out. We're gonna inhale that right leg up towards the ceiling here with square hips. Exhale to step that right foot forward. Come on up to your fingertips just for a little bit of balance. We're gonna pivot that back foot all the way down to warrior two position. So the back edge of that back foot, outer edge of that back foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat. And then press through those feet to come all the way up to warrior two, right side. Right knee's on top of that right ankle here. Try to level those hips off as much as we can. Press through the outer edge of that foot. Activate the outer calf. 3 breaths, here we are. One more breath, my friends. Inhale. And exhale. And then we'll flip that right palm. Reach those right fingers behind us, revolved warrior here. Take an inhale. And an exhale. Then we'll inhale back to warrior two. As we exhale, right forearm to right thigh, left fingers to the sky, side angle. Sink into this right thigh here, everybody. Press your forearm into your thigh. Press through both feet. And then this left arm can stay up. You can hover your left arm above your ear. You can tuck that left arm behind your back. If you want to go deeper in this pose tonight, drop your right fingers down to the ground. Great option here. Find your breath. One more breath. Let's inhale. And exhale. And then we're just going to close those shoulders off. Both hands to the inside of that right foot, square off hands and shoulders here. And then we can frame that right foot, everybody. You're going to step your left foot about halfway forward, coming into pyramid pose on the right side. If you practice with blocks, you can give yourself a little height here if you'd like to. Those right toes point forward, left toes point out slightly here, and that left hip is going to want to pop up. We got to square off those hips here. Let's find that breath. Breathe into your right hamstring. And then we're going to frame that right foot, put as much of a bend in that right knee as you need to. We're going to set that left foot back so that we have a lunge in the lower body. Take a big inhale. Exhale to step back, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Big breath out. Taking the other side here, inhale that left leg up towards the ceiling, nice square hips. Exhale to step it forward. Pivot your back foot down. Warrior two in the lower body. And then when you're ready, press through those feet to bring that torso up. Full size warrior two, left side. Try to level those hips. Stack that left knee. Press through those feet. Arms are straight and strong. Let's find that breath. One more breath here. And then we're going to flip that left palm. Inhale. As we exhale, revolve the warrior, reach those left fingers back. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Then we'll inhale ourselves back to warrior two. Exhale, left arm to left thigh, right fingers to the sky. Finding side angle pose. Press your forearm into your thigh. Thigh into your forearm, press through both feet. Then those right fingers can stay up. You can hover that right arm above your ear. You can tuck your right hand behind your lower back. You can also drop those left fingers down if you want to try that. 3 breaths. One more breath, everybody. Inhale. And exhale. And then we're just going to close off those shoulders, drop those hands down, level off those hips, and then framing that left foot, step your right foot halfway forward, coming into pyramid pose on the left side. Left toes point forward, right toes are out slightly. If you use blocks, you can give yourself a little height here. And that right hip is going to want to pop up, my friends. Let's try to square off those hips. Breath into this left front hamstring here. 3 breaths. Then we can put a little bend in that left knee. Plant those hands firmly. Send your right foot to the back of the mat. We've got a lunge with those legs. Everybody inhale. Exhale to make our way back to downward facing dog. Full breath in. And a big breath out. Then when you're ready, we're going to send those hips a little higher. You can walk, step, or hop up to the top of your mat here. Forward fold once you get here. Drawing hands to shins. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Torso comes all the way up when you're ready. Reach those arms up and overhead. Engage your belly, engage your glutes. And then as you exhale, draw thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. Beautiful. We're going to take dancer's pose tonight for our balancing pose. If you need to hold on to something for dancers, like the dresser or a wall, make your way over to something that gives you a little bit of balance if you need it, okay? So we're going to start on our right foot. So we're going to balance on our right foot first, which means we're going to bend our left knee. So let's start out here. Start with your right hand on your right hip. I'll start with both hands on hips. We'll just give it a whirl that way. All right, both hands on hips, root down through those feet. And then we'll gently begin to shift body weight over to the right foot, drawing the left heel up towards the left butt cheek. And then we're going to reach back with that left hand to grab the inner arch of that left foot. So you want to have, my palm is facing you right now. So my palm is away from my body, grabbing the inner arch of my left foot. And then from there, you can reach that right arm up and overhead, settle in here. If this is good, stay right here. If you want to kick further into full dancers, press your left foot into your left hand as you start to balance forward. Of course, the dresser's in the way here, balancing on that right leg. So let me back up so we can see the full thing. So to really activate this, kick your foot into your hand. Take it as far as you can. 2 more big breaths. 1 more breath. And then we'll gently stand ourselves back up. Take hands back to hips. And both feet are down. And shake it out. Good. We'll take the other side. So whatever assistance you need, feel free to take it. We're going to root down on that left foot here. Hands are going to start on hips. And we're going to get ourselves to kick ourselves in our right butt cheek with our right heel. And then we're going to reach back with that right hand. The palm is going to grab the inner arch of that right foot. Your palm should face away from you, out to the right. And then trying to maintain that strong, steady balance for that left leg here. Reach that left arm up. So this is a great version of it. If you want to stay here, stay here. If you want to go a little further, kick your your right foot into your right hand and take that balance forward. Find your breath. One more breath, my friends. Here we are. Inhale. And exhale. And then we're going to carefully stand all the way up. Release the foot. I give those shoulders a big windmill after I do that pose. And then we'll make our way back to the top of our mat in Tadasana. Woo, beautiful. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhaling to fold forward, coming all the way down. Drawing hands to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Here's our flat back. Exhaling to plant those hands. Let's take ourselves all the way back to downward facing dog, everybody. Full breath in. Big breath out. We're going to inhale our right leg up towards the ceiling. We're going to bend that right knee and open up the right hip. So try to keep your shoulders square. Pelvis is open to the right. Use your right butt cheek to keep that knee lifted. One more breath here, inhale. And exhale. And then we'll inhale to square off those hips, that right leg extends behind you. Exhale to step that right foot forward. Let's come into pigeon right from here. So walk your right foot over to the left, drop your right shin down, drop your back knee down, untuck those back toes. So your right knee should be wider than your right hip. We don't want to roll over onto that right butt cheek, exposing that left hip flexor. We want to stay nice and square. And then you can play a little bit here if you'd like to stay up. You can stay up. If you would like the quad stretch tonight, bend your left knee, find the quad stretch. Totally up to you, not required. You can also bring yourself down onto your forearms or down onto your belly. Whatever feels good for you. Finding 5 total breaths here. One more breath, everybody, wherever you are. Inhale. And exhale. If you happen to have that back foot, gently let it go. And we're all going to plant those hands firmly here. Tuck those back toes under, lift that back knee, and then we'll step back to downward facing dog. Full breath in. Big breath out. Inhale your left leg up towards the ceiling. We're going to bend that left knee and open up that hip here. So do what we can to just keep those shoulders square. Use your outer right butt cheek to keep that leg lifted. One more inhale. And exhale. And then we'll inhale to square off those hips. That left leg extends behind. Exhale to step that left foot forward. Walk it over to the right. Drop that left shin down. Drop that back knee down, pigeon pose. Left side will set up the same exact way, my friends. Left knee is out wider than that left hip here. Don't roll over onto that left butt cheek. Stay square to the center. And then, of course, you can stay upright. See how it feels. You can certainly do the quad stretch. You can fold forward, whatever you'd like. We're going to take our 5 breaths here. One more breath, everybody. Inhale. And exhale. If you have that back foot, gently let it go. Plant those hands firmly, tuck those back toes under, lift that back knee, and then we'll step it back. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Big breath out. One more optional vinyasa, everybody. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. If you're headed for it here, inhale to high plank. Knees up or down, exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Cobra or upward facing dog. Here's your inhale. Exhale to send your hips to the sky, downward facing dog, finding a full breath in once you get here. And a full breath out. Send those hips a little higher. You can walk, step, or hop up to the top of your mat. And then we'll drop those butts all the way down. Extend those legs forward. Toes up towards the sky. Let's shake those legs out a little bit. And then we'll inhale those arms up and overhead. Exhale to fold it forward, grabbing onto knees, shins, ankles, toes, whatever you can get to in this forward fold. 3 breaths. And then we'll carefully make our way all the way up. You can shake those legs out, and then when you are ready, bend those knees, wrap your forearms around your shins, give yourself a big hug here and a big inhale. As we exhale, make our way all the way onto our backs. We have arrived. You can make those circles with those knees here if you'd like to. And then we're going to take one bridge pose tonight, everybody. If you are a fan of wheel and you'd like to go up into Urdhva Dhanurasana, you are welcome to. You do not have to. That's up to you. If you don't know what wheel is, then you're sticking with me with bridge. So let's plant those feet about hip distance apart here. Melt those shoulder blades down. And then we're going to press our triceps into the mat here. Press through those feet. Start to lift those hips up. So we're going to press into our feet, press into our elbows here, and then you can stay here, or you can start to work your shoulder blades together on the back. That's going to help lift you up a little bit higher. Look at that. And then those triceps can stay there, or you can extend those arms long by your sides. Keep pressing through those feet. There we go. Press those hips up. Activate that lower body. 2 more big breaths. Here we are. One more big breath. Inhale. And exhale. And then very gently, one vertebrae at a time if you can, lowering all the way down. And then we'll take those knees side to side, windshield wiper back and forth here. And then come on back to center. I'm just going to cue the basic twist tonight. If you would like something different, you can take a different twist. Arms can come out to the side or overhead. Take a big inhale. Exhaling to let those knees fall over to the right. So whatever that shape looks like for you is perfect tonight. And then on your next inhale, gently draw those knees back up to center, exhaling those knees over to the left. Again, whatever that shape looks like for you is great. And then your next inhale draws those knees back to center. We'll find happy baby right from here. Draw those knees in towards your chest. Reach in between those thighs to grab onto toes, arches, or ankles for happy baby. You can rock side to side always if you'd like to. One more breath. And we're going to draw those inner thighs together here. Extend those legs up towards the sky, getting as long as you can from your sit bones to your heels. Take a moment to reset, finding a full breath in. Big breath out. If you'd like to stay here, you're welcome to stay here. You can point and flex those feet. If you'd like to make your way over to the wall, take legs up the wall. That's a great place to go. If there's other postures you'd like to take, another hip stretch, or another twist, you're welcome to any of that. Whatever postures feel good for you to finish out tonight. We'll make our way to full Shavasana in just a few moments. Yogi playtime. If you'd like to take legs up the wall for Shavasana today, you're welcome to do so. If you're ready to come into full corpse pose, extend those legs long. Those feet can come out to the width of the mat, allowing those arms to take up as much space as you'd like to here. And then when you feel ready, take a big breath all the way in. Exhale into the support of the earth beneath you, enjoying full Shavasana. Let's find a full breath all the way in and a big breath all the way out. Gently beginning to wiggle those fingers and wiggle those toes. Roll the wrists and the ankles and gently rock your head side to side. And then when you feel ready, extend those arms all the way overhead, getting as long as you can from your fingertips to your toes. Taking a big breath in. As you exhale, gently draw your knees in towards your chest, wrap your forearms around your shins, give yourself a big hug. Carefully making your way over to your favorite side in a fetal position when you're ready. We'll take a moment of pause in this posture as we always do, allowing ourselves to call to mind who in our lives we are grateful for. As you feel ready, gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat here, whatever that looks like and feels like for you. Heart full of gratitude as we arrive in our seat, pressing palms together at heart center. We'll close out our practice time tonight with one more big breath. Let's inhale and exhale. The light inside of me loves and honors the light inside each of you. Namaste. Namaste and kittens, everyone. Thank you so much. Yay.
Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Courtney.
much. So good.
Great class.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Courtney.
Wonderful job, everybody. Thank you so much.
Courtney.